hips, knees are soft. Take a big inhale, reach up high to the sky. Exhale as you swan dive forward, so let your head fall heavy. Bend your knees if you have to. Connect your hands to the floor, and then just take 1,000,001 little tiny steps out into your high plank. Once you feel your high plank, lift your hips to the ceiling, and then take 1,000,001 little tiny steps as you bring your feet up to meet your hands, and take a pause here. Let your chest connect to your thighs, drop your head, release your lower back. Push your feet to the floor, roll yourself up to stand, and then take another big inhale. Reach up high to the ceiling. Eyes look past your fingertips, and then exhale as you swan dive forward. Head pulling your chest down, soften your knees. Plant your hands on the floor, step back into your high plank, lift your hips to the ceiling, press your heels towards the floor to lengthen the back of your legs, and then walk your fingers back to your toes. Take your time here. Once they meet, pause. Head drops further towards the floor. Roll yourself up to stand. We're going to do that again. Here we go. Big inhale, reach up high. Exhale, dive forward. Walk it out into your high plank. Take a moment here to feel your plank. Lift your hips to the ceiling. Walk your feet up towards your hands. Pause in your forward fold. You can even hold on to opposite elbow and sway side to side if that feels good. And then drop your hands back to the floor. Step back into your high plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Roll out to your high plank, right foot steps outside right hand. Drop your back knee and then open your chest to your thigh, reach your fingers up to the sky. Nice spinal rotation here. Bringing your right hand down to the floor, lift your left knee, step your right foot back, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, ripple forward into your high plank. Left foot steps outside left hand. Drop your back knee towards the floor and then open up. Rotate through your torso. Look at your fingers reaching to the ceiling. Bringing your left hand down. Lift your right leg. Step your left foot back. Lift your hips. We're going to do each side one more time. Here we go. Roll it forward. Right foot up. Drop your back knee, big rotation, even a little bit bigger. Press your left hand into the floor. Bringing your right hand down, lift your back knee, step your right foot back, lift your hips nice and high. Roll it out into your high plank, left foot outside left hand, lower your back knee to the floor, big rotation. Bringing your left hand down, and then lifting your back knee, step back into your high plank, and then open up your knees, connect your feet and push your hips back. We just sink right back into child's pose. You can lower your forearms and your forehead to the floor and feel your body melt into the floor. I like to imagine a piece of chocolate melting in the sun, right? So you just kind of feel your body melt into your hips. Your shoulders start to relax. Feel your breath start to slow down and deepen. Take a couple more deep inhales and exhales. And then pull yourself up into your tabletop position, keeping your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. We're going to take our time in our cat-cow here. So think about starting every movement with your tailbone. So start by tilting your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And as you do, you'll notice your belly will drop down towards the floor for your cow. And then you can start to pull your chest forward. Inhale as you look forward, maybe slightly up, and then start with your tailbone. Pull your tailbone under, And as you start to feel your tailbone drop towards the floor, you'll start to feel your spine push up towards the ceiling. So you start to dome through your upper back, pulling your chin in towards the chest as you push your hands into the floor. And then let's bring it back to your neutral spine, finding that flat back. Bringing your right foot outside your right hand, and your shoulders will stack over your hips. So we were here before, or at least similar to this when we did that spinal rotation. This time we're going to work at opening up our hip flexor a little bit more. So make sure you keep your left butt cheek active, so you can kind of squeeze your left butt cheek. Your tailbone will drop towards the floor, and then you can push your hips forward and feel your hip flexor open up. Take a deep inhale. Lengthen through the top of your head. As you exhale, you can start to sink a little bit lower. So you're connecting a little bit more to your breath. So inhale. And then exhale, sink a little bit lower. Remember, this should feel good. It should not feel painful. So just listen to your body and adjust if you need to. We're going to take this into the other side. So let's go ahead and come back up. And we'll do a quick switch here. Step forward with your left foot. Once again, we're going to start to flex your right butt cheek. Heavy tailbone, so it tucks under or drops down towards the floor. That will help protect your lower back. And then you can start to encourage your hips forward. Take a moment, relax, take a big inhale. As you exhale, you can sink a little bit lower. So we're taking our time sinking into this shape so that your body will start to relax and be a little bit more receptive to the shapes that we're forming. It's like reminding your body everything's okay, right? We're in this together, mind and body working as one. And then let's pull it back up. We're gonna take it into a frog stretch. So opening up your knees nice and wide, you can support yourself in your hands. Toes will go out to the side. Your ankles will be right below your knees. And then you can lower down to your forearms. And so it's a really nice groin stretch here. We get to use gravity a little bit. Make sure that your hips are lined up with your knees. And if you have the ability, you can always open your knees wider and sink lower into this. This is where it's really important that you listen to your body here. If you can lower to your forearms and kind of relax into a little bit more. And like we did in that hip flexor stretch, use your breath. So you can inhale. And as you exhale, you can sink into this a little bit deeper, little micro changes here. This is pretty intense, so don't force it. Woo! Froggy stretch. Very carefully come on up, and you're just gonna kind of slide forward out of that, yes, and then swing it around into a supine single leg knee hug. Other words, we're on our back, pulling your right knee in towards your chest. Circle out your right ankle. And then change directions with that. And let's bring our right ankles to our left thigh for figure 4. Making sure that all 10 toes are pulling towards your shins. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. Relax your forehead, your head and your shoulders back down on the floor. Then extend your left leg up towards the ceiling, pushing through your heel. You get a little more stretch on the outside of your right hip as well as the back of your left leg. And then bend your left knee. Yeah, we're gonna do that again. Extend your left leg, push up through your heel. Keep pulling your toes down towards your nose. You can even press your thigh into your hands, or you could start to pull your leg towards your chest. So notice that you can feel that stretch of the outside of your right hip or the back of your left leg, depending upon where you're applying a little more pressure. And then let's carefully bring that down, extending your left leg long, pulling your right knee in, and then we're going to pull our right knee across our torso into spinal rotation, keeping your knee in line with your hip. Extend your right arm out onto the floor and shift your gaze towards your left fingers. Excuse me, your right fingers. Using your breath to relax into this, it's almost like telling your body, it's okay. You don't have to be so tense. You can just let it go. This doesn't have to look a certain way. It's supposed to feel really good, no matter what it looks like. And then let's bring it back to center. Oh my gosh. And let's extend our right legs onto the floor and pull our left knee in towards our chest and circle out your ankle one way and then the other. And just like we did on our right side, we're going to bring our left ankle to our right thigh, flexing your toes, and then thread the needle. So interlace your fingers behind your right thigh, relax your head and shoulders back down on the floor. Use this as your starting position, and then extend your right leg, push through your right heel, pull your toes down towards your nose. And once again, you can either pull your right leg in closer to you, you'll feel this on the outside of your left hip a lot more, or you can press your right thigh into your hands and feel this in the back of your right leg more. So you can kind of play around with that, and then bend it, relax, take a big breath. And then in your exhale, you can extend your leg again, getting more length up the back of your right leg. Ooh. Yikes, I need to stretch more. And then let's pull it down, extend your right leg onto the floor, and let's pull our left knee across our body, keeping knee in line with hip, and extend your left arm towards the floor. And this time we shift our gaze towards our left fingers. Drop your left shoulder onto the floor, and then you can use your right hand to assist your right knee down closer to the floor. You may be able to connect both your right knee, your left knee and your left shoulder. Let's bring it right back to center. Extend your left leg long onto the floor. We're taking it into Savasana to finish class. So let your toes fall out to the side. Arms just lay by your sides. Palms are up, and relax your fingers. Feel every muscle in your body relax. Soften your eyes or close your eyes. Take a couple of big inhales and exhales. Feel the floor support you. You may stay here as long as you wish, but I'm going to leave you here. Once again, I am Hollis. Thank you so much for joining me.